So for the third exercise, let's start a new bit of transcript from scratch. Now, I very rarely start from scratch, and in fact, if we open new file.cha, you'll see what I'll usually do, which is to create a kind of blank template for starting a new bit of transcript. It's got a begin tier, a begin line, and an end line, and in between it's got all the things that you really need to be in there in order to begin your transcript. So I'll put in language, tab EN, participants, I'll put in my participants list. Now I'm going to transcribe a little bit more of game night. I've already got a transcript of that, so I'm actually just going to copy and paste these to save time. But what I would do is say I would write out all of these participants into a list like this, starting with a tab, and then would have ABB, participant ID, name, Abby, and then adult. Don't worry too much about these descriptions. These are built into the system as a set of categories for participants because the CLAN software was designed for a particular purpose. So just ignore that, we'll just use adult or unknown, but you need to have these done in triplets, ID, name, and category, comma, and then the next participant. And just to show you what that does, if you then go to tiers, update, you'll see that CLAN registers these participant IDs and assigns them a keyboard command, command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many up to 0. And that's really useful when we start transcribing. For example, if I wanted to put a turn by Abby in there, I could go to the first line after the media header but before the end, and then I could do control 1 or control 2 or control 3, and I get my participant ID inserted automatically and correctly formatted. I'll show you how that works later. So options, it's important that you put in tab CA because that will mean that when we close this file, for example, if I save it and then close it and reopen it, it will no longer be in this variable width font. It will be in a fixed width font because it knows that we're about to do some CA transcription. There we go. Now we're in CA font as we are here. So what I'll probably do next is, I can put in transcriber, comments, anything you want. Media is important. I want to put in the game underscore night. I don't put in the file suffix, but I'll put in the game night, and then I'll say it's a video that I'm looking for, so it will look for an MP4 or a MOV or whatever it can play in the same folder or in a media subfolder. And then that should be enough to get me started. If I save that file now, I should be able to hit escape 0 or go into mode, sonic mode, and that opens up a waveform and a timeline, and it opens up a video window. Sometimes that video window gets hidden behind the transcript window. You can always go to Windows and see that you've got movie sound. That's where you'll find your movie sound window. So now I can start my transcription. I go to the first line after media and before end, and then I can select a bit of waveform that I want to transcribe.
All right, so it's your turn.
So that's Abby's first turn. So I do command 1. All right, so it's your turn. I'm not going to put in anything more detailed than that for the moment, just standard orthography to begin with. Then at the end of the turn, I can press Command I, which inserts a little timing bullet, and that will link this part of the waveform to this line in the transcript. Then I can move on to the next section.
Michael's calling for our order.
Okay, and there's Terry. It's whatever, I can't remember what the pseudonym is. And put in another bullet there. So then I could go and put more layering in, more Jeffersonian style transcription in, but for the moment I just wanted to show you how to get started transcribing from scratch.